Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks, buckle up, because the Eagles are once again at the center of some intriguing NFL rumors, and this time it's about potentially bolstering their secondary. As we all know, Philadelphia's defense has been a key part of their success over the past few seasons, especially during their Super Bowl winning campaign, and they're not about to sit back and let injuries or gaps in their roster slow them down. The latest buzz involves a player you might not have heard much about until now, Mike Ford Jr. from the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, you heard that right, Mike Ford Jr. Potentially coming to Philly could be the strategic move that makes all the difference in their defensive depth chart. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. The Eagles, as we all are aware, have been relentlessly aggressive in the trade market this season. They've already acquired Tank Bigsby from the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is a move that adds some much-needed versatility to their running game, especially with Miles Sanders moving on. They also signed Zadarius Smith as a free agent, a veteran pass rusher who has made his presence felt on the defensive line, adding a burst of experience and pass rushing ability that the team has been craving. Smith's early stats are promising, a half sack and 4 tackles in just his first couple of games, showing he's a player who can contribute immediately. But even with these additions, the Eagles are aware that their secondary still needs reinforcement, especially with key players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, and James Bradbury no longer on the team. This is where Mike Ford Jr. enters the picture. Now, Ford has been around the league for a few years, and he's no stranger to NFL defenses. At 30 years old, he's got 8 seasons of experience, having played for multiple teams including the Lions, Broncos, Browns, and now the Falcons. While he might not be a household name, his stats are pretty solid. Opposing quarterbacks have a completion percentage of 62.4% when throwing in his coverage, and he's allowed just 9 touchdowns over his career. Those are reliable numbers for a cornerback, especially one who can step into a role and provide stability. The Falcons, currently with a record of 1-2, are in a bit of a rebuild mode, and it's logical they might be open to trading Ford, especially as they focus on developing their younger talent in the secondary. But why would the Eagles be interested? Well, with the current state of the division and the NFC landscape, every game counts. Philadelphia knows that as the season progresses, injuries and unforeseen circumstances can hit at any moment. Having a versatile, experienced cornerback like Ford could be exactly what they need to cover their bases. Plus, the Eagles' front office, led by the ever-aggressive Howie Roseman, has a reputation for making bold moves at the trade deadline. We've seen it before, they're not shy about swinging for the fences when it comes to strengthening their roster for the playoff push. And with the trade deadline looming on November 4, fans should keep their eyes peeled, because this could be the move that shifts the entire defensive dynamic of the team. Now, let's talk about the specifics of Ford's game. He's a player who's faced plenty of NFL talent and has held his own in coverage. Opposing quarterbacks tend to target him, but he's been effective at limiting completions, which is crucial in today's pass-heavy NFL. His ability to read plays and make tackles in coverage makes him a valuable asset, especially in the NFC East, where passing attacks are becoming increasingly sophisticated and dangerous. The Eagles, with their aggressive secondary, rely heavily on their cornerbacks to shut down wide receivers and make plays on the ball. Adding a veteran like Ford could help them maintain that aggressive, physical style of defense that has been a hallmark of their recent success. Of course, the potential move isn't just about adding depth, it's about strategic fit. The Eagles have young talents like Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who have flashed promise, but in a season where every game is a battle, experience often makes the difference. Ford's NFL experience, combined with his proven production and coverage, could be exactly what the Eagles need to solidify their secondary and give them that extra edge against divisional rivals like Dallas or the New York Giants. Now, let's not forget that this is all speculative at this point. No official trade has been announced, and the Falcons might hold on to Ford or ask for draft capital that the Eagles are hesitant to part with. But the mere possibility has sent waves through NFL circles, especially among Eagles fans who are eager to see their team make a splash before the deadline. The front office has a history of being proactive, and with the NFC being so competitive this season, every addition that enhances their chances of reaching the Super Bowl is worth considering. And as we all know, Howie Roseman is a master at reading the market and pulling off deals that can turn the tide in their favor. Now, I want to highlight that this trade speculation isn't just a random rumor. It's rooted in the Eagles' ongoing effort to improve their roster and address their needs. The team's defensive coordinator has emphasized the importance of depth and versatility in the secondary, especially with the season's intensity ramping up. They're looking for players who can step in, adapt quickly, and perform under pressure. Ford's experience and steady coverage skills make him an intriguing candidate. And given the Eagles' recent history of making shrewd moves, fans can be optimistic that if a deal is possible, they'll do everything they can to secure it. Looking ahead, the Eagles still have a lot to prove this season. Their offense has shown flashes of brilliance, led by Jalen Hurts, who continues to develop as one of the league's top quarterbacks. But it's their defense that can be the difference-maker in close games, especially when they face high-powered offenses in the playoffs. Strengthening their secondary with a seasoned veteran like Ford could be that extra piece needed to tighten up their coverage, force turnovers, and ultimately help them reach that elusive Super Bowl. As fans, we've seen how quickly a season can turn on a single play or a timely acquisition. Remember when the Eagles traded for Robert Quinn last season? That move helped turn their fortunes around in the playoff push. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that we could see something similar this year. The NFL trade deadline always brings surprises, and the Eagles are known for their boldness. They're not just trying to make a good team, they're trying to build a championship-caliber roster, and every strategic move counts. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because honestly, if the Eagles do pull off this trade for Mike Ford Jr., it could be a game changer. We've seen in the past how the right veteran presence can stabilize a secondary and bring confidence to the entire defense. And with the Eagles already having a solid core, adding a player like Ford could be the final piece that pushes them over the edge in this highly competitive NFC. And let's take a moment to appreciate the broader context. The NFC East has always been one of the most fierce divisions in the NFL. The Cowboys, Giants, and even the Commanders have all shown flashes of potential this season. For the Eagles, staying ahead of the pack is crucial, and strengthening their secondary might be exactly what they need to secure that top spot and avoid those tight, nerve-wracking playoff games. The team's coaching staff is known for their strategic adjustments, and if they see Ford as a fit, it's likely because they believe he can contribute immediately. The key will be how quickly he adapts to their system and how well he can gel with the existing defensive players. This season, every game has significant implications, and the Eagles are well aware of that. They know that the NFC is stacked with talented teams, and even the smallest advantage could be the difference between hosting a playoff game or going home early. That's why everyone involved in the Eagles organization is watching the trade market closely, trying to identify any opportunities to strengthen the roster. The potential addition of Mike Ford Jr. isn't just about filling a roster spot, it's about adding a player who understands the pressure of high-stakes games and can deliver when it matters most. So as fans, what should we expect? Well, it's all about patience and anticipation. The trade deadline is just a few weeks away, and the Eagles could very well make a move that surprises us all. Remember, this team has a history of making bold decisions that pay off in the postseason. And if they do bring in Ford or another veteran cornerback, it could be the piece that propels them deeper into the playoffs, and ultimately back towards the Super Bowl. In conclusion, the buzz around Mike Ford Jr. is a testament to how serious the Eagles are about improving their roster and staying competitive. It's a reminder that in the NFL, sometimes the difference between a good team and a championship team is a single strategic move. A trade, a signing, or a tweak that gives them that extra edge. The Eagles have shown time and again that they're willing to make those bold moves, and this season might be no different. As we inch closer to the deadline, all eyes will be on Philadelphia, waiting to see if they pull the trigger on what could be one of their most impactful trades yet. Stay tuned, Eagles fans, because the best is yet to come, and this team is still in the race for that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl victory. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors? Do you think adding Mike Ford Jr. would make a difference? Or do you believe the team should focus on other areas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, let's keep cheering for our birds to soar higher and higher.